everyone, welcome back to another class in the original Lotte Berk technique. My name is Jen and I'm going to be leading you through another full class from warm up to cool down in the original technique of Lotte Berk. So hang on. Okay, I'm going to try this again. Hello, welcome to another class in the original Lotte Berk technique. My name is Jen, and today we are going to be going from your warm-up all the way to your cool-down in the original series developed by Lotte Berk technique back in the 1960s. So all you're going to need for equipment today is your chair or a sturdy surface, wall-mounted freestanding bar, couch, countertop, something that you can use for stability and support. Some water nearby would be great, and maybe a towel if you need it. I'm going to cue the music up. We're going to start with the warm-up. Remember, the warm-up and the cool-down basically are the same every class from class to class, unless I forget something in between. But otherwise, the movements are the same, and we do about 8 to 10 repetitions of every movement. So I hope that you get a great workout. You feel lengthened, strengthened, and flexible once it's done. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's cue the music up. All right, nice instrumental playlist for us to start with today. Let's start with our feet about hip distance apart. I'm going to just move this out of my way a tad. We are going to bring the arms up overhead. Maybe give me a slight tilt in that pelvis to stretch the back. We're going to come down, double bounce, swing, and you can even bring the arms full circle if you want to. Otherwise, you can just stretch them up nice and high. So the goal here is to raise the body temperature, to raise the heart rate, and to get everything nice and warm up before we begin our more strength-focused work. Let's do 2 more. Last one. I almost fell on that one. Got a little rambunctious. So now bring those legs wider apart. Try to keep nice and straight behind the legs, reaching the arms forward, and just giving yourself a nice little reach here, keeping those abs nice and tucked up into the spine, shoulders away from the ears, and just reach, reach, reach. Now round everything down to the ground. Take a gaze through your legs if you can, and just do little taps on the floor for me. Again, trying to keep nice and straight behind the legs, rounding the chin in. And now let's combine our reach, tap. Reach and tap, making sure that you're taking some nice, big, deep cleansing breaths, always getting oxygen to those muscles. Let's do a couple more of these. Perfect. So now stack one hand on top of the other. I want you to come up, over, and through the legs. So imagine you're jumping out of a body of water. This move is called porpoise for that specific purpose. Again, try to stay straight behind the legs if you can. If not, a slight bend is fine. You do what works for you. Last one, just shoot through the legs. Take a gaze toward the back wall and just give yourself a little bit of a pulse movement here as you shoot your hands through. Now grab onto your shins or your ankles if you can and pulse the chest toward the thighs. This whole little part of the warm-up is targeted at getting the backs of the legs nice and open. Okay, stack the hands again and just draw little figure 8s over those toes. A few inches in front of the toes. Keep the hips still and just undulate through the spine. So this is getting that spinal column nice and warm. Now you can bring the hands to the floor if you can. Carefully walk the feet back together. Slowly roll up to stand. Come on to the center. Bring the arms overhead. Push the right hand into the right thigh and come up and over with the left. So now we're going to focus a little bit more of the stretching on the upper body and core. Come center, opposite side. Push the left hand into the left thigh. Come up and over with the right hand. Again, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Everything is nice and long through that side. Come center. You can grab onto your elbows or onto your shoulder blades. It's up to you. Think up and over. And you can even bring the legs a little bit closer together. Soft bend behind those knees to keep those knees nice and safe. We don't ever want to lock those knee joints out. Come on, up and over. Bring the arms down to the side and continue to get nice and warm here through the side. Really trying to reach those fingertips as far down on those legs as you can. Come on center and open the arms up with some big arm circles. So we are opening up behind to get everything open through the chest, through the shoulder girdle. Other arm now, making sure that you're not going to slap anyone or anything behind you. And now let's do some figure eight, some big ones. So up, over, and imagine you're slapping the palms of your hands together behind your back. So a nice big swoop and slap. Again, getting those arms nice and warm, getting that heart rate slowly increasing. All right, let's do one more. Bring the arms center, small bend in the elbows, little up and over, little figure eights here. I'm feeling my biceps, my triceps starting to warm up. Keep the hands flat and imagine you're hitting the wall behind you. Little taps behind. If you imagine you're tapping that wall, and still keeping the belly nice and tight. Shoulders plugging down the back. Now go up with that movement for me. Little ups. Warming up through the pectorals, which is the chest. Biceps, triceps. Make fists do little circles back. This is a great warm-up series for the upper body. I'm tripping over my words today. Bring those hands together. Soft bend behind the elbows. Clap the air. So we're never bringing those hands completely together. Just clapping the air, feeling the pectoral muscles here. Now bring those hands together for me. Stretch them up and over the head by the ears. And imagine again that you're slapping the wall behind you. Shoulders plugging down the back. Keeping that core nice and engaged. And those knees are nice and soft. A little bit of pliability in them. Never locking them out. Now, bend and extend through those arms. Keeping the arms pushing back toward the ears and just bending at the elbow joint. Let's bring the arms down to the side. Roll the shoulders back. So give me some big shoulder rolls. Bring the hands to the shoulders. Close the elbows and open. So nice big arm. Well, big elbow circles, I guess, here. Again, opening up through the chest. Opening up through the shoulders. The upper back. Let's bring the arms down to the side. I want you to grab onto the skin on your forearms and just push the skin up. So I'm not moving my hands up and down my arms. I'm just pushing that skin up and down on those arms. Getting those pectoral muscles nice and warm. Bring the hands down to the side. Take your gaze over that right shoulder and the left. One more time to the right. And the left, bring that chin center, bring one ear to the shoulder, and the opposite hand, you can even pop the fingers down the side, and do it on the opposite side, walking the fingers down, you feel even more of a stretch here through the neck. And now very carefully, just give me some little semicircle rolls, bringing the chin to the chest. All right, so we're gonna walk over to whatever sturdy surface you have, and we're gonna work the top of the thigh. So let's come on over. We're all warmed up. We're going to bring our feet hip distance apart, nice and straight behind both those legs. So starting from the feet up, we want to be straight behind the legs, bringing those hip bones forward, little pelvic tilt, plug the shoulders down the back. Bring that outside leg nice and long and strong, arm nice and strong to the center of the room. We are going to lift the leg up nice and high, and we're going to do bend, stretch, lift. Stretch, bend, lift, sorry. So bend, stretch, there we go. Bend, stretch, lift. Bend, stretch, lift. Inside leg is nice and straight. Crown of the head to the ceiling. Bend, stretch, lift. Bend, stretch, lift. Let me move my arm. Bend, stretch. So really pointing through that toe. Little bend, little stretch, little lift. Stretch, bend, lift. Stretch, bend, lift. Let's do a few more of these. Really stretching through that thigh. And also trying to keep that leg up nice and high, challenging those muscles. Try to come up a little higher if you can. Now, little bend stretches here. Again, pointing through that toe. Keeping those shoulders plugging down. Nice and straight if you can behind that inside leg. I'm just doing little reaches in front, little bend, stretch, 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 stretch. Now keep a little curve behind that leg. Just give me a few little lifts here. Tiny lift. Pushing the weight of my inside leg through that heel. Trying to keep that leg up nice and high. It's amazing how it gets so tired and fatigued just trying to support itself. Stretch it long, happy foot. Hold it up for me. Just hold, stretch, and release. You can even give me a few leg swings or a little stretch back to stretch through the top of that thigh, that quadricep. Let's switch sides here. Same setup. Feet hip distance apart. Nice and straight behind both legs. Tilting that pelvis forward. Bring that outside leg nice and long and strong. Arm is strong too. Shoulders plugging down the back. Bring that leg up high. We have a little bend, stretch, and then we're going to lift. Stretch, bend, lift. Stretch, bend, lift. So keep on going, keeping that leg up as high as you can. Trying not to lean back. So really pushing the weight of that inside leg in through that heel. Crown of the head to the ceiling. Little bend, little stretch, lift. Stretch, bend, lift. Keep going, stretch, bend, lift. Keeping that focus on that outside of that quadricep, on that upper thigh here. We're going to get the whole body, I promise. Stretch, bend, lift. Last big one. Now little stretches here. Really pointing through that front toe. I'm imagining a beam of light just shooting out from that toe here. Taking some nice deep cleansing breaths. Keeping everything nice and controlled and steady through the limbs. My leg's starting to get a little fatigued. I hope yours is too. Keep a little bend here. Just give me some little lifts. Lift it up so if you can see. Just doing a tiny lift with a tiny bend. Feeling the top of that leg working so hard. Let's do a few more. Now stretch everything. Give me a happy foot. Bring the arm overhead if you can. Just see if you can lift and stretch behind that leg a little bit more. Release back. Give yourselves a few swings if you need to, or a nice stretch through that leg. All right, we're going to grab our sturdy surface. I'm going to grab my chair so that we can work back of the leg in a little forward back lift action. So again, we're going to start with the feet parallel. Soft bend in both legs. I want you to I'm bringing my left leg because that's the one I worked first. Plugging it back in the hip socket, but also making sure that my hip bones are shining forward. And if I'm on a clock, my left leg is at about 7, okay? Nice light grip on the bar, shoulders plugging down the back. So we're pushing that leg back, but remember to tilt forward. Bring your leg forward, back, give me a little lift. Forward, back, lift. So we're never bringing the leg so far forward that it comes in front of the supporting leg's knee, okay? You want to keep it nice and pushed back in that hip socket. Think of that pelvic tilt too. So you're not making a big movement here because that tilt is forcing you to make it small. Forward, back, lift. Forward, back, keep going. Forward, back, lift. Trying to keep the weight evenly distributed between both sides of my body, not jumping into the supporting leg. Forward, back, lift. One more. Forward, back, just lift here. So I have to readjust my tilt, making sure that my hip bones are shining forward, and I'm keeping everything nice and tilted toward the front, okay? Little lift, up, up. Keep going. This is back of the thigh, hamstring, glute. Lift. Keep lifting. Keep a nice, strong, tall posture in the upper body. I'm going to have you do one more move here. Extend the leg, little bend and stretch. Reaching through. I feel it really helps to imagine again an arrow or a beam of light shooting out from that leg. Two more. Stretch, stretch. Hold the stretch. See if you come up a little higher. Relax down and stretch it back out. You don't have to move your positioning, but I'm going to move my chair. We're going to work the opposite leg now. So same setup, soft bend, parallel feet. Soft bend behind both those knees. Bringing my right leg back. See how my hip opened up? Tilt that hip back to that sturdy surface. Lift the leg. I'm at 5 o'clock. Forward, back, little lift. Bring it forward, back, little lift. Concentrating, again, all the work in the hamstring and glute. This is back of the thigh. forward, back, up, forward, back, up, forward, back, up. Keep on going, keep focusing those hip bones, shining forward, crown of the head to ceiling, abs nice and engaged, shoulders plugging down the back, forward, back, up, forward, back, lift, keep going. Tiny movements, all in control, feel those muscles working. Last one, now just lift, up, 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 keep going, up, 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 tiny moves, soft curve behind that, both legs, pointing through that working leg's toe, up, 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 keep lifting. So the key here is layering on the repetitions, really fatiguing the muscles, up, up, up. We're going to do some bench stretches, ready? And we're going to bench stretch, 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 point through the toe, stretch, 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 keep going, stretch, 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 we're almost there, stretch, 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 now point, hold, see if you can lift it higher, relax down and stretch it out. Time to work outside thigh in a little muffin no more. So I'm going to turn my chair so that I can use it to support myself. So come on down here. If you're up using a bar, you would be holding onto the bar. Otherwise, let's hold on to that chair here. Same thing. Okay, so nice and tall through the side. Stretching that leg out to the outside. Now see how I just relaxed it into the hip? And my heel's popping up a little bit. I'd like you to do the same thing here. So we're going to just start with tap, tap, tap. So my hip's coming out from the side. I have a soft bend in my knee. And I'm just doing little taps, floor off. Keep doing it, off, off, off. Now we are going to make this a little bit more difficult in a minute. But for now, just tap, tap, tap. Keep tapping, tap, tap. And you can always slow it down. Tap, tap, tap. So you do what works for you. Now just up. I'm not tapping the floor. It's a hover and up. Feeling the work. Where are you feeling it? In the waist, right? And the side, the outside of that leg. Now you can't tell on camera, but my leg is straight out from my hip. Up, up, up. Little lifts. Up, up, up. Keep going. Up, up, up. Now, keep it steady. Bring it forward, back. Swing forward and back. So the movement is not coming from my hip, okay? I'm swinging my leg, using my outer thigh, and I'm even feeling it here in the waist. It's called muffin no more because it gets that area of the obliques that tend to accumulate a little extra stuff sometimes. Forward, back, forward, back. Let's do two more. Last one. See if you can stretch that leg out nice and long. Maybe bring it up and hold. Release down. And give yourself a stretch through that working side. And we're going to swing our chair around. And come and work the right side now, or the opposite side. Same setup. Right leg's going to come out. Soft, slight relaxation in that hip. So I have a tiny bend behind that knee. And my heel just came up. Little up, up, up. Tiny tapping of the floor, trying to stay up nice and tall through my side, feeling the tension here in the waist and in the outside of the leg, which you'll feel a little bit more as we progress the movements. For now, just do your little taps. Tap, 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 keep going, tap, tap, tap. You've got this, keep breathing. We have kneeling thighs, and then we get a stretch. Tap, 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 tap. Now just up, up, up. So hovering over the floor, I'm not tapping this time. You're going to feel that outside thigh kicking in a bit more. Up, up, up. And if you need to readjust to bring that leg a little bit more forward, feel free. Again, I want you to feel the work in the side, in the outside leg, and in that waist. Up, up, up. Keep going. Up, up, up. My leg shaking. Up, up, up. Now swing forward and back. Little forward, little back. Keep that leg up as high as you can. If you ever need to stop, readjust your form because your form is getting too sloppy, please do so and come back. This is a tough one, but it's so effective at working the waist and the outside leg. Forward and back, keep going, forward and back, a few more, forward, and back, last two, and back, last one, back, bring it to the side, see if you can stretch it out, hold it up, relax down, and give yourself a stretch through that right side, or whatever side you just worked. All right, let's move the chair aside for now. We are going to work on some genies. So genies are also a nice top of the thigh move. I like to start with my knees nice and wide. It helps protect my knees as well. We're going to start with the arms around the waist. Now remember, ears, shoulders, and hips are all going to be in alignment. I'm going to hover up off those toes a few inches, making sure you have that pelvic tilt there. Just down, up, keep going. Little hover, up. Never bringing the bottom to rest on the heels. Down, up, good. Feel the work in the upper thighs, in the top of the thigh again. If you're not feeling it, you need to come down a little lower. Down, up, keep going. Let's do a few more, and then we're going to do some in and outs with the hips, with little pelvic tilts. Okay, ready? So we're going to bring the hips forward, back, forward. So I'm going to move my hands so you can see. You can always bring the hands to the waist, too. Making sure that the ears, shoulders, and hips are all in alignment. Shoulders plugging down, forward, back, or in, out. This is a little bit faster music. In, out. Now, keep the pelvic tilt. Bring the arms up, and we're going to go side, side, side. So I'm just doing it like a little back and forth. Still with the tilt. Still hovering over the heels. Side, side, side. You've got this. Side, side, side. Keep going. Side, side, side. Now circle. Circle one way. We're going to get the other way, I promise. A few more circles. Now reverse that circle. Other way. Circle, circle. Shoulders plugging down the back. I just caught mine creeping up. So get the hover. Circle, circle. Hold steady. Hip, hip, hip. You've got this. Hip. Hip, 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 keep going, hip, 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 you're still hovering, still got the tilt, hip, 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 now reach up, down, I know this is burning, up, down, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and just hold that hover, relax down, pound it out. Woo, my heart rate always gets up on genies. Take a sip of water if you need to. I'm going to just put the music on something a little bit more relaxing. Catch our breath, and we're going to do some stretching and pelvic floor work. All right. Okay. So let's stretch those legs out. They just work so hard for us. Let's bring that right knee into the chest, sit up nice and tall, bring that left leg off the floor, and do some little ankle circles. I'm going clockwise right now. Doesn't matter which way you start because we're going to reverse that circle. Stretching the legs out, trying to sit up nice and tall. Now swap, left leg's in, right ankle's going to do some circles here. Round, 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 keep going, round. Round, reverse the circle, round, round, and around. Bring those legs nice and straight for me. We're going to have happy feet, point, happy, point. Again, sitting up nice and tall through the back. Happy, point, happy, point. Make them happy now. Bring the heels up off the floor so your knees are actually coming on the floor, and we're getting a nice stretch through the tops of those thighs. Heels, up, keep going, up, relax, good. So now let's bring those feet in to a nice butterfly position here, and you can even flap those wings, it's up to you, sit up nice and tall, or just hold the stretch, think nose to toes. Take a nice minute to enjoy the stretch, take some nice deep breaths. The next thing we're going to do is pelvic floor work. So the pelvic floor muscles are those muscles that we use to stop the flow of urine or gas. I'm going to just change the music so that we get into something a little more soothing for that pelvic floor series. Press those legs. Bring the hands to the knees. Come to a nice seated position and just relax everything, okay? Remember, the flow of urine, flow of gas, the muscles we use to stop those are our pelvic floor muscles. So I want you to imagine they're either a right and a left point on your hips, your pubic bone, and your tailbone. So take a nice deep breath, melt everything down, and I'm going to guide you through. Let's imagine we have a zipper that's going to connect our tailbone to our pubic bone, and we're going to zip it up. Ready? So pull those muscles together, and I want you to come up and hold, and just hold there. Come up and hold there. One more up and hold nice and tight, and slowly unzip the zipper. So now your right and left sits bones are magnets, and we're going to pull those together nice and tight. I want you to pull up and into the belly button and hold, up and into the heart and hold, up and into the throat and hold, up and into the top of your head and hold for a few counts. Hold 4, 3, 2. Now come down to the throat and hold. Down to the belly button. Hold there. And down and out. Disengage the two magnets. So relax and release. Imagine a flower opening up, releasing everything at the bottom. So now I want you to imagine there's a marble, okay? And you're going to use your sits bones, your tailbone, your pubic bone to pick that marble up. So really tighten your grip on that marble. And we're going to come up. Up and hold for 1. Up and hold for 2. Up and hold for 3. One more. Up and hold for 4. Hold. Down for 3. Down for 2. And down to the bottom. Release the marble. Relax everything in the pelvic floor. Release, relax, and we're going to now move on to some backside work in half a banana, which is my favorite, one of my favorites. Okay, so let's work that left side first. I want you to come down onto your elbow here, and imagine your legs are a banana, okay? So you have a very slight curve behind those knees, and I want you to drive this upper hip forward as you bring that top leg back. So this is going to work that side again. We're just going to do very little up and down. Up, down, pushing through the elbow that's supporting you so we're not sagging in this waist here. We're just going to go up, down, pushing this leg behind you engages the waist. You can even bring your hand here to remind you to engage those abs, shoulders away from the ears, little lifts, up, down. Now hold up and go back. Push it back, so imagine the toe is pointing against the wall behind you. Push it back, little back, feel the waist, feel the back of the leg. Push back, back, little back. Come back and hold, then stretch. Little bends and stretches. Remember to sit up nice and tall through that elbow, and we stretch, stretch, stretch. Keep going, stretch, stretch, stretch. We're almost there. Now, little circles forward. Remember that slight bend behind the knee? Tiny, tiny circles, and we circle, circle, circle. Almost there. Circle, circle. Now, just do up, up, up. Oh, my leg is shaking. Up, up, up. Almost there. 4, 3, 2, and hold. Release down. And you can bring that leg over and stretch. So you know your muscles are fatiguing when they're uncontrollably shaking and refuse to move. That's why I love half banana. All right, other side, my friends. We're going to, again, pushing nice and strong up here, keeping this oblique engaged. Tiny bend behind those knees. Bring this leg back. Bring this hip forward. So you're trying to imagine that this hip is pointing on the ground below you. Hand here to support the abs. Up, down, keep going, keep everything nice and engaged. Bring shoulders down the back, nice nice and long and strong in the torso as we up, little down. So feeling in the waist, feel back of the leg. If you're not feeling it in these places, you might need to lift higher. Think up, little down, big up, down. Big up, little down, big up, little down, big up, little down. Let's do one more. Bring it up and now back, back. Imagine you're just poking little holes in the wall behind you with the big toe. Little back. See, I'm not moving very far, right? But I'm feeling it, and you'll see pretty soon my legs gonna start shaking. Back, back, back. Let's do a couple more. Back, back, back. Hold, bend and stretch. Point to the toe, little bends and stretches. You've got this. Couple moves after this. Then we stretch again. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Keep going. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Now little circles forward. Tiny bend in those knees. Little circles forward. Oh, the shaking starting to happen. Circle, circle, circle. Now up. Little ups. Almost there. Tiny, tiny little ups. Up, up. So think up and not down. Up, 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 up. Now just hold and down. And give yourself a nice little stretch to the side there. Woo! That was back side. All right, we're gonna do 5 hoovers. On each side, and then we're going to come up and do some calf work. Okay, so let me set you up with our hoovers here. Now we're going to start with those knees sealed together. So with Genies, we had them open. With hoovers, we have them closed. We are going to come up onto all fours, actually. Arms a little bit wider, hands angled in. Let's bring that right leg up, nice and long. Keep it up as high as you can. Come down, forward, back, up. Down, forward, back, up. Again, down, forward, back. Last 2, down, forward, back. Last 1, down, forward, back. Come up, switch the legs out. Now that left leg is your handle. Try to keep it up as high as you can. Nice and strong in the arms. We're gonna come down, forward, back, up. Down, forward, back. 3 to go, down. Forward, back. Last 2, down. Forward, back. Last 1, down. Forward, back. And I want you to relax back into child. Come up to all fours. Push yourself into a down dog. Feel a nice stretch to the backs of the legs. Maybe pedal the heels. And walk the feet to the hands or hands to the feet. Bend the knees. Slowly roll up to stand. Give yourself a nice stretch. Inhale, exhale down. All right, grabbing onto our surfaces again, we are going to work the calves. So we're going to do some calves and footwork here. And so we're going to start by wrapping the left foot around the right ankle. And imagine you have a book on your head, so I want you to stay nice and strong through the upper body. Come up onto the ball of that right foot. Come floor off. So I'm bringing that heel, I'll show you all the way down to the floor, and then pushing myself back up. So if you can't come all the way up, do what you can, okay? If it's only halfway, that's fine. If you can come up higher, please do. All the while, this is calf work. So we're feeling the work in the calves, and it's gonna start traveling up the back of the leg. Still remembering to keep those shoulders nice and down and back, crown of the head to ceiling, abs engaged, okay? So now we're gonna go half, up, floor, off, half, up, floor, off. You still have this foot wrap, I'm just showing you for demonstration purposes. Half, up, floor, off, half, up, floor, off, half, up, floor, off, half, up, floor, off. Last one, just up, little pulses up. You got this, up. Give me a couple more. 4, 3, 2, bring it down. Shake it out. Now let's do the other side. Wrap the calf around the opposite heel. Up nice and tall. Floor, off. Floor, off the side. Same rules apply. Everything is nice and strong and straight through the torso. Crown of head to ceiling. Abs engaged. Floor, off. Floor. Sometimes the slow work is harder than the quick work. You really have to use the muscles and not momentum. Down, up, Keep going. Floor, off. I'll show you. Floor, off, floor, off. Now half, up, floor, off. You got this. Half, up, floor, off, half, up, floor, off. Again, half, up, floor, off, half, up, floor, off. Last one, floor, off. Just go up, up, up. You got this. Up, up, up. We're almost there. I know the music's getting ready to change. Up, up, up. 2 and 1. Relax down. Give yourself a little stretch through those legs before we move into some serious thigh work. Okay, so serious thigh, we're actually going to do wide seconds. So come on down into your work zone, making sure that those knees are tracking toward the back wall. We're going to bring our arm out. We're just going to go down, up, down, up. Stay in the work zone, neutral spine, so we're not overly arched or in either direction. I want you to feel this inner thighs, outer thighs. Down, up, down. Keep going, down, up, down, up. Now little pulses at the bottom. Work, work, work. Making sure the knees are not collapsing in. They're staying nice and back, because we're going to get ready to pulse them. In 4, 3, 2, just pulse the knees. Back, back. So this is getting your glutes, inner thighs, outer thighs. Back, back, back. Nice and strong. You can even bring both arms forward. Back, back, back. Keep going. Back, back, back. Now pulse it down. Little pulses again. Tiny, tiny movement. Stay low. Stay in the work zone. Try to keep up with the music. Pulse, pulse, pulse. You got this. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Keep it still. In and out with the hips. In, out, in, out. So just move the pelvis forward, back. Keep on going. Forward, back. We're almost there. In, out, in, out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now stretch all the way up. Come down. Stretch all the way up. Come down one more. All the way up. Come down. Little combo. Ready? So we're going to go in, out the hips, pulse, pulse, and hold it down. In, out, pulse, pulse, hold it down. In, out, pulse, pulse, hold it down. In, out, pulse, pulse, hold it down. Ready? In, out, pulse, pulse, hold. In, out, pulse, pulse, hold. In, out, pulse, pulse, hold. You can keep up. If not, go back to the slower. So it'd be in, out, pulse, pulse, hold it down. Or in, out, pulse, pulse, hold. In, out, pulse, pulse, hold. In, out, pulse, pulse, hold. Last one. In, out, pulse, pulse, just hold. Come down a half inch or so lower. Hold. Release up and stretch. Woo, let's give ourselves a nice L stretch through the backs of those legs. You can bring the hands down to the floor if you can. Bend the knees, slowly roll up. Inhale up. Exhale, bring one foot over that sturdy surface. We're going to inhale up, exhale. I'm going to either bend and stretch like this. See, I'm bending tiny bends and stretches. Or we can fold over. Or we can just hold the stretch. So I want you to do what works for you. This foot is right under the opposite hip. And this leg is stretching. No pain, just a nice stretch to the back of that leg. Inhale up. Exhale, bring that leg off the chair. Give yourself a nice quadricep stretch. So I'm pulling the leg back, trying to bring my hip bones forward, feeling a nice stretch through the top of that leg. Opposite leg, inhale up. Exhale, bring that leg up. Inhale up. Exhale down. Bend and stretch if you can. Or, like I said, you can always fold over or just hold. Depends on each side of your body, how you're feeling today, what you're using as your apparatus. Just feel a nice stretch. Inhale up. Exhale, bring that leg back. Pulling the leg back while we bring those hip bones forward is going to help stretch out the top of that thigh. All right, so let's turn our chair around here. And we are going to get into some feet under the bar work. So you can always put your feet up against the wall or under a bar if you have one. Otherwise, I'm going to get you set up here, and we're going to do our feet under the bar. So we're going to bring our heels and push them down into the chair, You can even bring your hands over your head, but I want you to bring that low back and push it into the floor. Okay, so we're going to come up, tilting grip. I want you to bring your left arm forward, right hand up. We're going to lift up, pump the arms, and change. So lift, pump, change. Lift, pump. Actually, no, I don't like this. This doesn't feel natural to me. So just lift, keep the left arm there, right arm up. We're just going to do little ups, up, up. If this becomes too much for your neck, you can always bring your hand behind your head. I apologize for that first movement. It worked better when I was practicing, and sometimes it just doesn't translate as well once you get into the class and the music. So just up, up, up. Switch the arms out. So now my right arm is reaching forward. My left arm is up by my head. And I'm keeping my gaze over my belly button. Low back is still into the floor. And my heels are pushing into my surface. Again, you could always bring this hand behind the head if it becomes too much. Now bring both arms back, hold them by the ears, and just lift. So I'm keeping my arms steady, and I'm lifting through the waist. If this is too much, hands behind the head. Up, up, up. Low back down. Belly button, gaze over the belly button. You can hold the arms up if you want to. Bring them down and give me little fold over. So now everybody has their hands behind the head. Up, 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 and hold. Relax down. Give yourself a little roll in and out through that pelvis. Dropping that pelvis or drawing that pelvis down, low back down into the floor again. We're going to now take our gaze to the ceiling, hands above the head, okay? We're just going to lift and lower, keeping those shoulders up off the floor. Keeping the gaze up at the ceiling. Just lift, lower, lower. If this becomes too much, you can always bring one or both hands behind the head. But remember, low back into the floor, gaze up at the ceiling, and that lower half is staying nice and still. Now bring the hands together in prayer, and we're going up, up, up. Keep working those abs, up, up. Up. Now keep the abs steady. Bring the arms over here so that your biceps are by your ears and you're just drawing your arms back. We call this showering. So my abs are steady and my arms are moving. Shower, shower, shower. Keep going. Shower, shower. Now keep the arms still. Lift the abs. Up, up. If you ever need to bring the hands again behind the head, please do. Or if your form is starting to fail, take a break and join me. Up, up, up. You got this. Up, up, up. Just hold everything up. Release down. And bring those arms back. You can give yourself a little stretch. We're going to get ready to go into our waist twiddlers. So take some nice deep breaths. Again, drawing that. You can even bring the tailbone off the floor, but bring it back down. So now the low back is back down on the ground. We're going to tilt and grip here. And we're going to bring the hands behind the head for whittlers this week. And we're just going to go little left, little right, little left, little right. So it's tiny, as if we're in a tube and we can't move very much. Left, right, left, right. Sometimes I like to bring my elbows in closer just to help me keep that move small. And we can even go a little quicker. Tip, tip, tip. Keep going. Left, right, keeping the move right, concentrated in that rectus abdominis region. Left, right, left. You got this. Left, right, left, center, up, up, up. Now we're just doing tiny little pulses at the top. 4, 3, 2, hold. Release down. Bring those feet to the bottom of the floor, the baseboard, or wherever you are. We're going to get ready to do our elephant. So again, if you want to kind of roll in and out through that waist, remember to push that low back down into the ground. Get that pelvic tilt again. Operate the head, neck, and shoulders, hands behind the head. Nice and wide with those elbows. We're going to lift up for 1. Stay high. Again, 2 elephants. Keep lifting. 3, so we never come back down. 4 elephants. 5 elephants. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Bring the soles of the feet together. Shoot the arms through the middle. Up, up, up. We're going to get a little stretch after this. Up, up. Chin over the belly button, tucked in. Keep going. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Release down. You can bring the legs to one side and stretch. Keep them center. Or bring them to the left. Now push yourself on up. Now that you're on your side, we can move our chairs out of the way, or our bars, or whatever we're using, and we're going to come into sardines. So, we're going to start in our little C curve here. Bring the hands behind the legs. We're going to roll down, split our head, neck, and shoulders. They're still up off the floor. Bring the hands behind the head, and we're just going to do little toe taps forward. So I'm bringing my feet forward, back. Keeping the gaze over the belly button. Low back is still into the floor. Forward, back. Forward like we're prancing. Forward, back. Keep on going. Tiny, tiny toe taps. Forward, back. Now, if you started with the right foot, start with the left. Just lead with the opposite foot for a few of these. Toe tap. Forward, forward, back, back. Forward, forward, back, back. Forward, forward, back, back, release. Give yourself a minute to reset because we're going to bring those legs up into tabletop. So one at a time, bring them up to 90 degrees, okay? So they're not coming too far forward or back. I want you to lift and grip, low back still pushing into the floor. Float the hands over the carpet, reach, reach, reach. Belly button is what you're looking at again. So looking through the legs at the belly button, reach, 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 reach. Reach, reach. Now let's work the obliques. So side, side, side. So really stretching through the side here. Reach, reach, reach. Keep going. If this becomes too much, you can always put the feet down and imagine reaching for those outside pinky toes. Reach, 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 reach. Last few. Relax down for a second. Take a nice deep breath. Push the low back into the floor. Bring the feet up nice and tall. I want you to open and straddle. Close. Cross 1, 2, 3, 4. Open. Cross 1, 2, 3. You can upright the head, neck, and shoulders. So we're open to straddle. Cross 1, 2, 3, 4. Open. Cross 1, 2, 3, 4. Open. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open. 1, 2, 3. Last one. Open. Just keep crossing here. Again, if this becomes too much, you can always bring the head, neck, and shoulders onto the ground. Little crosses. See if you can bring those feet down an inch or so without losing the low back. And release down. You can stretch everything out now. We have one more or two more moves in this series. What we're going to do is a long lever crunch. So stack the right foot on top of the left. I'm going to move myself a little bit. I want you to cradle the head in the arms and lift. Lift. Low back on the floor. Gaze at the belly button. Lift. Lift. Try to not come all the way down. This is a long lever crunch. Target low abs. Rectus abdominis. Switch feet. Left on top of right. Lift. 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 Keep going. Up. 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 We're almost there. Lift. Lift. Hold this last one up. Relax down. Stretch out. Bring the heels together. Low back is still on the ground. Upright the head, neck, and shoulders. And shoot through the legs again for some calming. Up. 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 You've got this. Up. 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 Go left. Right. Left. Right. Hold in the center. Release down. And stretch it all out for me. Bring those knees into the chest. Roll on up to a seated position. Inhale up. Exhale, sweep. Inhale up. Exhale, sweep. Inhale up. Exhale, sweep. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, sweep. We're now going to prepare ourselves for our escapes and no escapes. So if you have a bar with escapes, you are one hand distance away, and you're pushing up with the bar, trying to keep those elbows nice and forward, and using your back to support you, okay? If you're on the floor here with me, we're gonna do a nice C curve, imagining that a gust of wind in both cases has come in and pushed on those abs. Now we're gonna start with the feet narrow, and we're just going to do a little bend, stretch, down, bend, stretch, down, bend, stretch, down, keep on going, bend, stretch, down. Now if you want to do both feet at the same time, bend, stretch, lower, bend, stretch, lower, bend, stretch, lower, bend, stretch, lower. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. All right, so now I want you to do the same thing, but we're going to do one low and one high. So it's bend, stretch, low, bend, stretch, high. Same foot, bend, stretch, low, bend, stretch, high, bend, stretch, low, bend, stretch, high. If you're doing both feet, it would be bend, stretch, low, bend, stretch, high, low and high. Now, if you're doing one at a time, move to the left. Bend, stretch, low, bend, stretch, high, bend, stretch, low, bend, stretch, high, bend, stretch, low, bend, stretch, high. 2 more, bend, stretch, low, bend, stretch, high, bend, stretch, low, bend, stretch, high, and release. Last no escape we're going to do is pyramid. So let's bring those legs out nice and wide. And we're just going to go up, down, up, down. So imagine you're touching the top of a pyramid with the foot. Up, down. This is level 1. Level 2 would be together, down, together, down, together. So you guys keep going. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, time for no escape. So if you're at the wall, you're going to bring everything back. You're going to bring the arms forward, pushing up, and you're going to have your head and your shoulders coming off the wall. If you're on the floor here with me, we're going to do the same C-curve setup using our arms for leverage. We're going to do the same no escape we did last week, which is no names. So level 1 would be 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Level 2, you bring both feet together. So it'll be 1, 1, 2, as such. Okay, it'll be 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. So level 2, you keep them up. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay? Level 1, keep one foot on the ground. All right, I'm going to try to do level 2 this week. I'm going to do 5 on each side. All right, so nice deep breath in. If you're with level 2, bring both feet up. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm getting there. Trying to work my way back after an injury. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. Give yourself a little butterfly here, because that works not only the low abs, but also the legs. All of those moves. All right, let's come onto our bellies for a little bit of tummy time before we stretch. So you're stacking one hand on top of the other, resting your forehead on your palms, and you are pulling the abs up and off the floor as those pelvic bones stay in contact with the floor. And we're going to bring both feet up, pointed, and little pumps up, up, up. So we're trying to get the thighs off the floor. Up, 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 up. Up. Now give me a happy foot. Do the same thing. Little lifts up. So this targets the low back and the glutes and the hands. So we're just doing little ups. I can't get mine up very far yet. I'm still rehabbing my injury, but I'm doing the best I can. Up, up, up. A few more. Up, up. Just hold it. Just hold. Squeeze. And release. Let's stretch those legs nice and long. We're going to open them up, lift them up, and just do little squeezes in. Squeeze the thighs, so we're lengthening through the legs, and we're squeezing the thighs together, getting some inner thigh work. So remember, if you're on the floor, you're keeping your head down. Now hold everything long and strong, and just paddle for me. Really stretching through the backs of those legs. You can even bring your arms forward and get the arms involved in a little swimming. And just paddling everything out. Paddle, paddle, paddle. Now if you can, hold everything long and strong. Reaching out from the toes all the way out through the fingertips. Relax down. Bring the hands down by your side. Push into your thighs. Your head is resting on the floor. Having to upright it, push your hands into your thighs, come down, hands into thighs, upright the head, come down. One more, push the hands into the thighs, upright the head. You can even lift the legs if you want to, and come down. Push yourself into a child's pose, and we are going to stretch it out. Come up to all fours here. And we're going to arch the back up and hollow it out. Again, arch it up, hollow it out. Last one. Really nice arch in the back. Hollow everything out. Now I want you to sit your heels, your bottom on your heels, and you can do one leg at a time or both at the same time. What we're doing here is stretching through the tops of the feet, okay? So some people can do this a little bit easier than others depending on the flexibility and how sensitive the tops of your feet are. Swing your legs around for me. Open up in a nice wide straddle. Put both arms behind the back and push yourself forward. I've got some nice happy feet here after they had a little stretching. Stretching out through the inner thighs. Now bring your arms forward and crawl forward. Rounding the back, tucking the chin into the chest, stretching out the spine, and now push forward. And inhale up, exhale, let's turn to the left. Left hand comes behind the back, right hand comes over. Now you can hold the stretch or you can fold over, and it becomes a little bit more dynamic. Inhale up, exhale, right hand comes behind the back, left hand comes over the right leg, and we're holding or we're stretching. Little fold overs, or just hold. Come center, we're gonna come down and we're gonna swoop to the left. Inner hand comes to the inner left foot, swoop right, right hand comes in the inner right foot, open up through the left, swoop left, swoop to the right, and then swoop up to the left. Let's bring the soles of the feet or the feet together. Happy feet. Inhale up, exhale, stretch. Inhale up, exhale, curve back. Inhale up, exhale, stretch. Inhale up, exhale, curve back. One more. Inhale up, exhale. See if you can stretch a little further. Hold and release. Let's come down to our backs. The feet are hip distance apart. Arms are over the head. I want you to lift the hips, lift that tailbone up nice and high. Feel the stretch through the thighs. Drop the tailbone down into the earth. Lift back up and stretch. Drop the tailbone down. Again, lift back up and stretch. Drop the tailbone down. Let's bring the knees into the chest and rock back and forth, pushing the shins into the hands, giving yourself a nice spinal massage. Cross one leg over the other, hands come behind the head, bring the knees into the chest. This is our final stretch. As my music has run out, I apologize, but we're going to switch ankles and bring the knees into the chest, keeping the head, neck, and shoulders nice and steady. One more time, bring the knees into the chest. Slowly roll up to a seated position, and you can release and relax your entire body as we are all done with our full class in the original Lotte Berk technique. Warm up to cool down, we strengthen, lengthen, and stretched. I hope you feel as invigorated as I do and energized and ready to take on the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me here for another live stream class. I hope to see you again really soon and have a great day. Take care. Bye.